Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope all of you are doing good. This is the weekly market update live stream. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe to it and please make sure to like the live stream. Also, if you're not following me over Twitter, 𝗟𝘅𝗿𝗏, this is my Twitter handle. I regularly post market updates and calls also on my Twitter account. So make sure that you're following this handle. And finally, if you would like to receive more organized updates and calls, you can always join in the Discord server. The link you can find in the description of this video. And by the end of this stream, we are also going to announce the winners of the giveaway. We have, we had this lifetime subscription giveaway going on our Twitter account. All you had to do was simply just like the pinned tweet, retweet it, and then simply just drop a reply. Dropping a reply telling us about your honest experience with Foxian, with Sherlock. Uh, all you had to do was simply just follow these three steps. And by the end of this live stream, I will be announcing the winners of the giveaway. So please make sure to watch the live stream till the end. One lifetime subscription, and the second one is going to be an yearly subscription. So before we start with the market update part, we have this Black Friday sale going on. 15 days, 9 hours and 16 minutes till the Black Friday sale ends. If you're not able to for some reason you were not able to buy the subscription, maybe because it was too pricey, maybe you were not able to afford the subscription, then it's a very good way to join the Discord server. With all the subscriptions are at a 50% discount. You can see that the monthly subscription, the quarterly subscription, the yearly lifetime subscription are at a discounted price, at an extremely good price. So, you can join in the Discord server, you can find the market updates, calls. There are 15 plus analysts working in the Discord server. So please make sure to check out the website also. And if for some reason you were not able to afford the subscription earlier, then you can simply just make use of this offer. The link for the website is going to be in the description of this video, and I would simply just drop it in the chat box also. It's 𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗏𝑜𝑟𝑔. Um, so let's start with the market update part. Hey Sherlock, I have won the giveaway competition. Many thanks. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you have won the competition or not. I would have to just check with the team because, they have to select the winners for the giveaway. They would have already dropped me the DM. So I would be announcing the winners by the end of this live stream. Make sure to, watch till the end. So let's start with the market update part. Going to be an important live stream. If you guys have any questions, any chart requests, then please make sure to drop in the chat box. So I would like to start with the total ES chart. Someone is saying in the chat box, book the yearly. Okay, that's a very nice thing. I mean, the yearly subscription is also at a very low price, at a very cheap price, only $396. You can access all the perks in the Discord server for 12 months, which is, I guess, like, really a good deal. Same as the case with the lifetime subscription, or, if for some reason you are not able to afford any of these two subscriptions, then simply just go for the quarterly subscription, $100 it is only, and, spend some time in the Discord server. Look at the calls being shared by different analysts, look at the market updates being shared by different analysts. We are going to provide more education in the Discord server. We are slowly making some improvements at the back end. So yeah, there are going to be some very exciting things that would be launched in the Discord server. Anyways, let's start with the market update part. So the chart that I would like to start with is the total ES chart, total ES.D. You can see that. So this is the total crypto market cap excluding stablecoin dominance. Okay, as you can see that, as the name implies, total ES means E means excluding and S means stablecoins. So, I have explained this in some of my previous live streams, and I would encourage all of you to please like the live stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and watch the live stream till the end because I'm going to explain a few very important things. And these live streams, they are a great source of education. I regularly share the market updates also, but a one-on-one communication, that's a much better way of communicating all the information. So the total ES chart I was talking about, uh, normally we use the total chart, uh, which is the total crypto market cap, this one. And normally we say that the total crypto market cap chart, it is a good way, it is a good medium for you to look at and know what exactly could be happening with Bitcoin in the future, right? So let's say that, you'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart, you don't really know where exactly price is headed towards. Just for extra confirmation maybe, or just for some other confluences, there are a few other correlated charts that you can take a look at. And this the total chart, it's positively correlated chart with Bitcoin. So the reason why it's positively correlated, it's kind of very obvious, because the total chart is telling you the total crypto market cap. This one, it's a total crypto market cap, and Bitcoin dominance is 59.24, is sitting at 59.24%, meaning that out of this $3.12 trillion, almost 60% is being held in terms of Bitcoin, which basically implies that anything that would happen with Bitcoin is going to automatically be reflected back on the total chart, because the biggest share in the total chart is of Bitcoin. The biggest market cap coin in total itself is Bitcoin. So as a result of it, whatever happens with Bitcoin, it will be automatically reflected back in the chart of total as well. So that's why, it's a good way of knowing where exactly price on the Bitcoin chart is headed towards. Or just for extra confirmation also, you can take a look at the total chart, and the correlation is obviously positive. If one goes up, then the other one would also go up. If one goes down, then the other one would also go down. So the total chart, it provides you a really good medium. Now, the only problem with the total chart is that, uh, because it's a total crypto market cap, so it basically includes everything crypto, okay? And just for clarification, when I'm using the word total crypto market cap, which is somewhere around $3.12 trillion right now. Remember this thing, that it's not like, the total crypto market cap is taking into account almost every cryptocurrency that has been created to this date. Even if you would just read the description for total on TradingView's website, it would tell you that total simply is just a market cap of one top 125 cryptocurrencies, okay? And you know, in case you are wondering that, why exactly do we say that it's a total crypto market cap? The reason why we usually say this, despite the fact that it only takes into account the top 125 cryptocurrencies, is simply because the rest of these cryptocurrencies, their market cap is totally negligible. Okay, just to give you a comparison of this, in total, almost 60% is being held in terms of Bitcoin, right? In total, almost 60% is being held in terms of Bitcoin. The rest of 10% is being held in terms of stablecoin. Almost 10 to 20% is being held in terms of Ethereum. The rest of 10 to 15% is being held in terms of top 10 cryptocurrencies like Sui, like Solana, like some other top Doge, etc. And then only if you take a look at the market cap of the mid market cap and low market cap coins, which is 217 billion, you would realize that if you would exclude Bitcoin, stable coins, and the top 10 cryptocurrencies from total, then the rest of these 115 coins or 114 coins have a market cap of only 217 billion. Meaning all of these coins that we usually talk about, all of these altcoins, in this 125 list, all of these altcoins, they have a market cap of only 217 billion. So out of this 3 trillion, only 217 billion is being held in terms of mid market cap and low market cap coins. And now if you start talking about those shit coins that are not in this 125 top 125 coins list, then their market cap is totally negligible. Okay, so that's why we usually say that total crypto market cap or the total chart is simply just representing the total crypto market cap, and it's a good way of knowing where exactly the market is headed towards. And we usually use this to understand where exactly Bitcoin is headed towards. And I already explained to you the reason why. The reason is obvious, because the largest market share in this index is of Bitcoins, and for that reason, wherever Bitcoin is headed towards, total is also headed in the very same direction. But there is one problem with this whole explanation, and that problem is being resolved by this another chart called total ES. And I wanted to directly show you the difference as well, because in this live stream we have to, like, study all of these things in detail. And by the way, the topic of the live stream is December crypto crash or Santa rally, because the Christmas rally or the Santa Claus rally, it's a very well known phenomena, and people usually believe that in the month of December. And I would like all of you to study the text loss harvesting also. It's a very important phenomena. We will be talking about this in our next live stream, but it is going to explain a few very important things in the market. But just to let you guys know that the rate cut expectations, in case you're wondering that why exactly market has been positive, because the rate cut expectations are now sitting at 87%, and almost a day ago the expectation was at 90%, right? So it's hovering around 90%, 95%. So it's, during my last live stream also, I explained that it's very much already confirmed that the rate cuts are happening. And by the way, the next FOMC meeting, it's going to be in 6 days, 4 hours and 8 minutes. So, it's going to be volatile price action for the next few days. And 87% chances that the rate cuts are happening. And it's almost confirmed that the rate cuts are happening. But I would explain to you what are the few other things that would actually matter in this situation. But going back to our main topic of discussion, what's the difference between total and total ES, and what is the problem that this total ES chart is resolving that cannot be resolved with the help of the total chart? Now, as I explained, that total is everything crypto, including Bitcoin, including Ethereum, but also including stable coins. And we already know that the relationship or the correlation between Bitcoin and stable coins is negative. Meaning, if Bitcoin would go up, the stablecoin dominance would go down. If Bitcoin would go down, the stablecoin dominance would go up. So the problem here is that you are saying that total chart is directly correlated to Bitcoin, right? If the total chart would go up, or if price on the total chart would go up, or if the value of this index would go up, the price on the Bitcoin chart as a result of it would go up. Okay. And if price on the Bitcoin chart would go down as a result of it, the price for this index, which is total, would also go down. And this is what the positive correlation is all about, right? If one index is going up, the other one would also go up. If one is going down, the other one would also go down. And the reason why it's happening is because the large portion of total is basically made up of Bitcoin. So as a result of it, total going up would automatically result, or Bitcoin price for Bitcoin chart going up would automatically result in total also going up. This is the same thing which happens in democracies also, right? If the majority wants to do something, if the majority votes in favor of something, as a result of it, the whole society would have to follow that path, right? They would have to go in the same direction, no matter if the rest of 40% want to do something else, because the 60%, that is the majority, because they believe in something. So whatever they decide is going to be happen, is ultimately going to happen. But the problem here is that in this total chart, there is one thing which is stablecoin dominance. And we know that the correlation between Bitcoin and stablecoin dominance, I would just write it here, Bitcoin is not equal to stablecoin dominance. Okay. Because if Bitcoin goes up, the stablecoin dominance would go down. And if stablecoin dominance goes up, as a result of it, Bitcoin would go down. This is something which we refer to as a negative correlation. Now, the problem is that in this total chart, almost 10% is stablecoin dominance. And we know that whenever price on the Bitcoin chart goes up, we are saying that total would also go up. But there is something in total which is negating this whole idea, which is contradicting this whole idea, and that is stablecoin dominance. So we have to deal with this problem also. We cannot clearly say that Bitcoin going up would automatically result in total going up, to the total index going up, because yes, it is going up, and everything inside total is also going up. For example, price of Ethereum would go up if Bitcoin is going up, price for 𝗠SUI would go up, price for Solana would go up, price for any XYZ coin would go up. But the problem is that there is something contained inside total which has a huge market cap. By the way, 10% is a lot, right? And that is stablecoin dominance. which is negating this whole idea, which is dragging this whole relationship towards downside. And that thing is stablecoin dominance. So if Bitcoin is going up, total is going up, but stablecoin dominance is going down, which is contained inside total. So that's how we came up with the idea of total ES. We said that we will create a new total chart. Okay, we will just call it total ES, or we will call it total 2. Okay, we cannot really call it total 2 because total 2 is something else, but I would just total, you can call it total twin, you can call it total ES, whatever you would like to call it. But we usually call it total ES. Now total ES is simply just total excluding this stable coin, excluding this troubling part which is going in the opposite direction. So now we have created an index that is precisely correlated with Bitcoin, which is perfectly correlated with Bitcoin. Now we can clearly say that if Bitcoin is going up, total ES would always go up. Okay. If Bitcoin is going down, total ES would always go down. With total, we can actually say that it usually happens, but we also know that there is something contained inside total which is negating this whole idea, which is contradicting this whole relationship. And for that reason, we created total ES. And now we can say that Bitcoin going up would automatically result in total ES also going up, and Bitcoin going down would automatically result in total ES going down. And by the way, a very good way of looking at what an index usually means, you can simply just look at the description of that index. Okay, so if I would just open up the chart for total, it would simply just tell me the description also, crypto total market cap. If I would click on the chart for total 2, it would give me the whole description, crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. Okay, this is what total is about. So yeah, total ES. The reason why I'm giving you all of this information is because I want to explain to you that what's happening with Bitcoin right now. Okay, because if you would take a look at the chart for total, sorry for this, if you would take a look at the chart for total, you would realize that total has just reclaimed a resistance level. And by the way, this is a very important resistance level. Okay, mind you, this is a very important resistance level. And historically speaking, there has been only one instance where there was a fake out above this resistance. And one instance is usually more than enough. Okay. In my updates this morning, I clearly mentioned that, there is a very small chance, I would say only 20 to 30% chance that there is going to be a fake out, or this is actually a fake out, because now we have a full daily candle close above this resistance level, which basically means that the reclaim of this resistance has already happened. And by the way, I'm talking about the chart for total, which basically means that Bitcoin can go up towards $98,000 level. And by the way, we will be placing a long position on Bitcoin very soon, somewhere around 91,000 most likely. Okay. Now you can see that if you would draw a trend line, by the way, you can see that we also have this trend line breakout, which is going to happen very soon. But at the same time, we have a trend line, but at the same time, we have a resistance reclaim also. And in case you are wondering that maybe this is just a fake out, there is a very small outside chance that this move is going to result in a fake out above the resistance. The reason is because historically speaking, it's very uncommon thing for total chart to give you these kind of fake outs. There has been only one instance, which was back on 2nd of March 2025, where price gave a close above this level, and then immediately we had this move towards downside. I hope something like this won't happen this time also, but at least I'm expecting the price to give a small retest here and then continue with the same momentum towards upside. So this is what the total chart is telling us, right? So total chart is telling us that a resistance, an important resistance level has been reclaimed, which price had a break below back on 20th of November. And reclaim of this level simply just means that price can easily make a move towards $3.57 trillion, meaning that price on the Bitcoin chart will be back at 3rd of November levels. And 3rd of November level is somewhere around, price would be back somewhere around $106,000 to $107,000 level, meaning there is every possible chance that price can actually make a move towards those levels, you know. But the problem again, is that total is not a very accurate measure of where exactly Bitcoin is headed towards. Okay, because there is something contained inside total, which is stablecoin dominance, and that thing is contradicting the whole idea. Okay, because that thing is going in the opposite direction. And for that reason, we normally use, and I would encourage all of you to use total ES in comparison to total. If you wish to know what exactly is happening with Bitcoin, if your purpose is to know, if the goal is to know where exactly Bitcoin is headed towards, then instead of using total, you should be using total ES, because total ES simply just gets rid of stablecoin dominance. And now the reality is that, and by the way, even if you are a beginner, it's not really going to be hard for you to draw this resistance level, right? You would just go to the 3-day time frame chart or the weekly time frame chart or even the daily time frame chart, and you just have to draw this one simple line, and you can see this for yourself that total ES is still sitting at resistance. This is, by the way, a 3-day resistance, a weekly resistance, which is a sign of, I would say, caution, that we still do not have clarity on this thing, if the breakout has happened or not. You would at least need a daily candle close or the 3-day candle close, just like it happened back on 3rd of November 2023, right? Exactly when the bull market started. And by the way, this level is extremely important. You know, pay attention to this level, because this level is extremely important. We had a break below this level in May 2022. That is when the things started going downhill. That is when people started realizing that the bull market has ended. During the last cycle, that is when people started having the idea that the bull market has now concluded, and now we are slowly approaching the bear market. And as a result of it, price had a 3-day close below this level, and then it just continued to go down. And on 3rd of November 2023, exactly 2 years ago, you can see that price reclaimed this level. And this is a date, October, November. These are the dates that I talk about very often, explaining to you that this is the timeline when we had an actual start of bull market back in October 2023, back in November 2023, because that is when almost every single chart started flashing green signals. That is when we had the EMA crossovers. That is when we had USDT dominance breaking down. That is when we had total ES giving you a break towards upside. So that is when we had an absolute clarity in terms of charts that market is now entering into a bullish phase. And you can see that this is the same level, or this is the same price point where exactly it started from. Price reclaimed this important weekly resistance level, and as a result of it, price just continued to go up. And there have been only 2 instances where price actually retested this level, and this was the first retest back on 4th of August 2024, when Bank of Japan decided to increase the interest rates. Bitcoin dumped all the way down to 49,000, which was actually a very good opportunity for you to buy. Then the second one was at the time when the Liberation Day tariffs were announced. But the important part now is that we already have a weekly close, not only the 3-day close, but actually a weekly close below this level, which is a sign of danger. And by the way, on the total chart, the reclaim may have happened, but just like I told you that total may not be an extremely good measure of where exactly Bitcoin is headed towards. You should be using the total ES chart, which is going to be a near perfect measure of knowing where exactly price on the Bitcoin chart is headed towards. And you can see that the total ES chart on every single time frame, we talk about the weekly time frame, we talk about the monthly time frame, we talk about the 3-day time frame, it's still sitting under this resistance level. And once we have a break above this level, that's when you can be confident that, okay, maybe we are headed towards 108,000 to 112,000, because I have been talking about this last run for quite some time. And if you guys remember, I showed you the USDT dominance chart also during the last live stream. I would be showing you once again, the same chart, explaining to you that possibly 82,000 was simply just the bottom for Bitcoin, and it could result in Bitcoin creating another all-time high. Okay, chances are that it was the bottom for Bitcoin, and I would show you in terms of chart also that how exactly I reached this conclusion. But anyways, on the total ES chart, we are still in the danger zone. We are still trading below this resistance level, and until and unless we have a close above this resistance level, you cannot be sure that where exactly Bitcoin is headed towards. But once we have a close above this level, then it's very much confirmed that Bitcoin will be making it move towards 108,000 to 112,000. Now, just for clarification, even if Bitcoin makes a move towards 108,000 to 112,000, it's not really going to change the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin, which I have explained over and over again, has finally turned bearish after 2 complete years. And even if price makes a move towards 108,000 to 112,000, that's not really going to change the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin, which is only going to change once Bitcoin gives you a new all-time high. Okay, that's when you would know that the daily time frame structure for Bitcoin has been bullish once again, But I don't really think that's going to happen anytime soon, meaning one change of character after, immediately after the first change of character, that's a very uncommon sort of a thing. I mean, we had the last change of character just a few days ago, and the change of character before that, before this one, which just happened a few days ago, the last change of character was in the month of October 2023, almost 2 years ago. So it's a very uncommon thing if price would give you one change of character immediately after the other change of character. So, on the total ES chart, coming back to our main topic, on the total ES chart, you can see that we are still sitting under this resistance level. And only if we reclaim this resistance level, you see Bitcoin is still trading at 92,300, and 93,000 is by the way the resistance for Bitcoin. And some of these charts, like total, are giving you signs that maybe Bitcoin is about to make a move towards 98.5K or even 108,000 to 112,000. But I would tell you that you know what exactly you should be doing is that you should be waiting for at least a daily candle close above 90.98% level, and simply just open a long position on Bitcoin or spot position on Bitcoin. Set your stop loss below this low. Whenever price breaches this low, you would exit that long position and set the target for 108,000 to 112,000. Okay, that's the simplest possible long position that you can take. Forget about what anyone else is saying. Just go to the daily time frame chart and wait for something like this, in which price would give you just a small daily close above this resistance level. And the upper boundary for this resistance is at 91% or 90.98%. As soon as you have a daily close above this level, you can start taking a long position on Bitcoin and set the target at 108,000 to 112,000. That's how you're going to play it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a small warning that although Bitcoin seems to be breaking above 93,000, although total seems to be giving you a break above, in fact, not just seems to be, in fact, it has already given you a break above this resistance level. But at the same time, one chart, which is total ES, and by the way, it's a very accurate measure of where exactly Bitcoin is headed towards, has not given us a break above this resistance level. So I don't really want you guys to get caught up in the situation where you are simply just taking a long position right at the top, because once total ES starts dropping from this point onwards, once it start getting rejected here, it's kind of very obvious that Bitcoin will go back down to 82,000. So that's why I want you to play safe. That's why I want you to play cautious move and wait for total ES to just give you a daily close above this resistance, which is going to be a close above 93,000, $94,000 level. And if you have selected the target at 112,000, let's say, then it's not really going to matter if you're taking the long at 92,000, 93,000, or 94,000. And this is exactly the reason why I still have not taken any long position on Bitcoin. I had a short position on Bitcoin, by the way. If you guys remember, we took the short position on Bitcoin. And by the way, this was a short position. If you guys remember, during the last live stream, some of you were asking me questions about that short position. We got stopped break even on that short position, by the way. The TP for that short position was at, yeah, this was the short position for Bitcoin. And by the way, on the daily time frame chart for Bitcoin, you can still see that we are not completely out of the danger zone, because the danger zone will end once we have a break and close above this level. This was, by the way, a short position for Bitcoin, and we took the short position at 92,000. We took the first TP around 85,000. Price went all the way down to 83, $84,000 level. I have not entered this short back again. I already mentioned this in my channel also. We moved the stop loss to break even. I did not enter this short back again. But remember that we are still in the danger zone. You need at least a daily close above this level. Once we have a daily close above this level, that's when you can start playing openly. Okay, this is very important. D Brown 17 is asking, why take the long on BNB then, since everything moves with Bitcoin? No, that's not completely true. This statement that everything moves exactly with Bitcoin, this statement is not completely true. To some extent, it's true, but it's not like BNB or some other correlated, some other altcoins, they cannot move on their own, especially if it's a big market cap coin. So BNB at this level, it was looking good to me. Ethereum also, it was looking good to me, but I did not want to enter at the market price. You can see that I have just simply just set a limit order for ETH at this level. There is a small 4-hour support for ETH around 3078. I have set an alert. I have set a limit order at this level. But with BNB, you can see that the reason why we are entering into BNB, let me explain to you why. If on the daily time frame chart, first of all, we have this daily time frame trend line breakout. The second thing is that we have reclaimed this very important resistance level. This is an important resistance level. You can see that price gave the first retest, then the second retest, then the deviation retest, and the third retest. There is a small double bottom formation. Okay, this is a small double bottom formation. You have a break above the neckline. Okay, and then once you start looking at the dynamic levels, that's when the situation gets very interesting. Because I don't know if you noticed this or not, or how many of you noticed this, but with BNB trade, I have actually rated it at 9 out of 10. And I believe that it's probably after 8 to 9 months that I have rated something at 9 out of 10. The reason why I did so was because of all of these dynamic levels. The reason why I did not rate it 10 out of 10 is because it's trading under this November point of control, the last month's point of control. And we all know that the previous month's point of controls, they always act as strong support and resistance levels. And you can see here that BNB just got rejected at the previous month's point of control. But the reason why I have rated it at 9 out of 10 is because it's trading not only above a very important level, but it also has got a very important daily time frame trendline breakout. And at the same time, almost all of these dynamic levels, for example, MTF 100 EMA, not MTF 200 EMA, it's actually MTF 100 EMA. Then we have this yellow line, which is 1-day 12-period exponential moving average. Then this black line, which is 1-day quarterly VWAP. Then this red line, which is 1-day yearly VWAP. Then this purple line, which is TVEM band. Then this yellow line, which is another rolling VWAP. So you can see that almost all of these dynamic levels, they're acting as very strong support levels, right? So it's the reason why I've rated it once again at 9 out of 10 is because hardly ever you would notice any such setup in which all of the confluences, they're aligning in a perfect direction. The only problem with this setup is this point of control, the previous month's point of control, which price just got rejected at. But at the same time, I don't really believe it's going to be easy for BNB to just break through all of these dynamic levels without giving any sort of reaction, especially considering that we have the daily trendline breakout, then we have the break above the resistance, then we have this small double bottom chart pattern, then we have the break above the neckline also. This is the neckline retest. So overall, the setup is looking good to me. And I believe that even if Bitcoin is not giving you any huge upside move, but BNB can still be in top gainers or something like that. And especially considering that Binance blockchain week has been going on in Dubai. If you are in Dubai, make sure to participate in it. It's a big event. We usually have two very important events related to crypto every single year. The first one is Token 2049. I was in Token 2049 just 2 months ago in September. And the second one is obviously Binance Blockchain Week, which usually happens not in Singapore but in Dubai. So yeah, it's not something which is directly related to the price of BNB. Obviously, it's not like just because the Binance Blockchain Week is happening and there are important personalities speaking there, BNB, the price for the BNB would go up. I'm just trying to make a joke here. Anyways, Raja Bilal is saying, "Good morning, Sherlock. Your overall bias for 2026." Now it's quite difficult to have a bias, for the next like 6, 7, 8 months. But for the medium term, it's bullish, especially considering that the rate cuts are happening, and especially considering that we already had a move all the way down to 82,000, 81,000. So the medium term bias, it's still bullish, but I would say the long term bias, it's still bearish, especially considering that the structure for Bitcoin is still bearish. meaning that any upside move, it's most likely going to result in price giving you a lower high and not a higher high, meaning that chances are low that it's going to result in price giving you a new all-time high. But I would explain to you there is some good news as well for you guys, something which I explained at the end of live stream last week, which is a chart for USDT dominance. But anyways, so far we have discussed two and three very important things. The first one is the chart for Bitcoin. By the way, if I just have to quickly show you the next resistance levels on Bitcoin. The first resistance, Bitcoin is actually trading at this resistance. It's at 93,000, by the way. The second one is at 97,000, 98,000. Actually, starting from 98,000, price has previously been rejected at this level. So if you want, you can actually take a short position, or so you can simply just place a limit order for a Bitcoin short at 98,000. And then the next resistance is going to be at 107,000, 108,000. And if price actually goes back up to these levels, then I would be more than happy. I have said this time to time that if Bitcoin makes an upside move towards 107,000, 108,000, then I would love to take a short position at this level, at this resistance level, because on the weekly time frame chart, this resistance has not been retested, and it's going to be a really big thing if price makes a move towards 108,000 to 112,000. But remember this thing, that we are still in the danger zone. We still do not have any weekly close above this level. Same is the case with the total ES chart also, that has not given us any close above this resistance level. So the total ES chart and the Bitcoin chart, they're both telling us the very same thing, that we are still in the danger zone. And this is not a point where you should be immediately getting bullish. This is not a point where you should be like getting overconfident and jumping into long positions left, right, center, just because the rate cut possibility has increased, the probability for a rate cut has increased, or Bitcoin seems to be making a move towards upside. But talking about this thing, total 2 also, which is directly related to Ethereum, by the way, this is not something which has this is not something which is directly taking into account any other altcoin. This is something which is directly influenced by the price of Ethereum. You can see that total 2 just had a break above this resistance. This is also very important development. Total 2 just had a break above this $1.26 trillion resistance level. This is the upper boundary of the resistance. We already have a daily close above this resistance. We also have this trend line breakout, the first rejection, the second rejection, the third rejection, then the fourth rejection. And the important part is that if you would take a look at the chart for ETH, almost every single upside move was almost always powered by a trendline breakout. For example, this move, which started from 9th of July, it happened because of this trendline breakout. If we talk about this move, which started from April 2025, after those Liberation Day tariffs were announced, this one also started as a result of a trendline breakout. And if you would compare some of these previous moves also, for example, this one, you can see that this one also started as a result of a trendline breakout. So it's quite possible that Ethereum also, by the way, ETH has not given a retest at 3,700, 3,800 level. If I show you the chart for ETH on the higher time frame, you can notice that there is an important resistance which basically starts from this level. This is where the resistance starts from, the weekly time frame resistance for ETH. So ETH has not given a retest at this resistance on the weekly time frame chart, starting from 3,800, ending at $4,000 level. So if ETH actually makes an upside move, I would love to take a short position at 3,800, 3,900. I don't know how much time is it going to take. Probably in the next few days or so, Bitcoin may actually make a move towards 108,000 to 112,000. I mean, it's quite possible, given that the rate cut probability has gone up a lot, has increased a lot, and at the same time, you know, the overall timeline seems to be bullish. At the same time, Bitcoin has been constantly consolidating at this $93,000 resistance level. And we already know that whenever price is constantly consolidating under a certain resistance level, and it's constantly hitting that resistance over and over again, it basically means that price is about to give you a huge breakout towards upside. It's simply just something which we refer to as a bullish consolidation. I mentioned the same thing when price was trading at 87,000. I clearly mentioned that I'm not going to take a shot at 87,000 because price is constantly hitting into this level over and over again, which is a sign that it's about to make a move towards upside. So same is the case here. Price is constantly consolidating at this level, which is most likely a sign that it's about to make a move towards 98,000 at least. where it can go back to 94,000, 93,000, because that, this is going to be the first retest of support after that. But talking about Ethereum, it can easily make a move towards 3,800, 3,900. That is where we're going to take a short position, the big short. If we have to take two big shots, then for Bitcoin, it's going to be starting from 108,000 to 112,000. And for Ethereum, it's going to be starting from 3,800, ending at 4,000. These two are going to be big shots for me. I have been preparing for these two shots. And we already opened a short on ETH, if you guys remember, at 3,600. We still have that short position open. We took, I guess, 3 TPs on that short position. We still have 25% remaining in that short position, but the position size was not big enough. I guess there was only 40% allocation being done in that short position. But this time, I'm completely prepared for this. I'm definitely going to take this short position, no matter how the situation, no matter how bullish the situation is at that time. Once both of these charts make a move towards these respective levels, I'm definitely entering into this short position. And this is the update about ETH. And like I mentioned, on the chart for ETH also, you have a trendline breakout, and on the chart for Total 2 also, which is something directly related to Ethereum, we have this trendline breakout happening, and we have this resistance reclaim also happening, which makes me believe that Ethereum can actually make a move towards this next resistance at $1.43 trillion level. So these are the updates. And by the way, another important chart I would like to show you, which is a chart for which is another chart for stablecoin dominance. By the way, last time when we discussed stablecoin dominance, we used this chart, right? This is the chart for stablecoin dominance, but it has been calculated manually, right? And if you do not want to use a manual chart, you can actually use this chart, which was proposed to us by someone in the someone during that live stream. They proposed using this chart, which is actually a very good measure, which is actually a very good alternative. Instead of using this manually calculated chart, try to use this one, which is total minus total ES divided by total, right? You can multiply it by 100 to get the to get it displayed in terms of a percentage. Your calculation on your stablecoin chart is wrong, Amit is saying. No, it's not wrong, Amit. If it was wrong, no, Amit, if it was wrong, then the display of the chart would have been totally different. The reason why you are calling it wrong, I know why exactly you are saying this. The reason why you're calling this wrong is because of DAI, right? You are saying that I'm using USDC.D and USDT.D, and for DAI, I'm not using .D, right? The thing is that, first of all, DAI is completely negligible thing. It's completely negligible. You can even delete DAI, The only two most important stable coins are USDC.D and USDT.D. The market cap of all of these other stable coins, they're completely negligible. But you are just calling me wrong because you think that it's not DAI.D, but you do not realize that DAID, first of all, it's completely negligible. Okay. And second of all, for DAID, you can use you can use its dominance percentage also. I'm simply just adding it with DAI, which is representing the market cap and not the percentage. But because it's negligible, it's not really going to make any difference. I hope you get the answer right. Because, the only thing that matters, like for example, in this formula, if I was using USDT and adding it with USDC.D, then you could have said that I'm wrong, because USDT only is the value being displayed. For example, if I talk about USDT, right? Only USDT. This is the market cap displayed in terms of value, But once you talk about USDT.D, it's market cap being displayed in terms of percentage, And if I was adding USDT with USDC.D, then you could have said that I am adding the value with percentage. I am adding 123 billion or 400 billion into something which is a percentage, which would have been a very wrong approach, an incorrect approach. But in this case, I'm using USDT.D and USDC.D. The ones that matter for both of these, I'm using the percentage. So even if I use DAID, that's the interesting thing. You can see that it's not really making any difference. It's just the same thing back again. But the reason why I'm not using DI.D is because, almost 2 weeks ago when I made this calculation, then there existed no alternative for DI.D. TradingView only had DAI and they did not have DAI.D. So I did not bother to remove DAI. I simply just included it in my formula. But even if you would just exclude it altogether, I mean, even if you are just using USDT.D and USDC.D divided by total, and it's just going to be the same thing. It's not really going to make any difference because mathematically speaking, the percentage or the value, it's negligible. You can simply just ignore it. It's not really, theoretically speaking, you could say that if you are taking into account DAI.D, then you should be taking every single stable coin that exists in the market, But the reason why we are not doing so is because mathematically speaking, the market cap is completely negligible in comparison to the total crypto market cap of USDT.D and USDC.D combined. But anyways, to solve this problem, what you can do is you can use total minus total ES, right? So what this chart is doing is that it's simply just excluding total ES. Total ES is total crypto market cap excluding stable coin. You can subtract it from total, and what you would get as a result of it is pure stablecoin dominance. Because as I explained to you earlier at the very start of the live stream also, that total ES, it's a total crypto market cap excluding stablecoin. And total, it's a total crypto market cap including stable coins also. So if you are subtracting total ES from total, as a result of it, you would get pure stable coin dominance. You can divide it by total, you can multiply it by 100 to display it in terms of percentage, but this is what you would get. The thing that I'm trying to explain here is that Amit is saying mathematically that is not right. Well, Amit, I don't know about you, but I am someone who has studied mathematics for 4 full years. Okay, I'm a physics graduate. Half of my life was spent studying mathematics, so I know mathematics more than you. There is no point arguing here. I don't really want to argue with you, but I've just given you the whole explanation. Mathematically speaking, it's simply just a negligible thing. You can simply just delete it and it would just not make any difference. You can simply just delete DAI. I am getting the argument. This is exactly where I started from. This was the point of discussion. Something that I'm trying to say is that you are adding the percentage with value, which may not be an accurate way of displaying it, but it's not making any difference. And mathematically speaking, if it's negligible, then it's negligible, right? Mathematically speaking, zero is also a number, right? You cannot ignore it. But if you're adding zero into something, it's not really going to make any difference. I hope it's making sense, right? Mathematically speaking, if you're adding 0.01 or 0.001 into 1 million or 100 million, it's not going to make any difference. While making our calculations, every time we say that it's negligible, it's something that we can simply just ignore, and it's not really going to impact the overall outcome of that calculation. This is what I'm trying to say. Amit is saying, I was the one who suggested, oh my God, please, someone please give this guy an Oscar for this. I literally started the discussion saying that someone in the chat box during my last live stream suggested using this formula, and I believe that this formula is more accurate. And what credit do you want from my side, bro? I'm not saying that I invented this formula. All I'm saying is that, yeah, you are the Einstein, please, let me continue with the stream. I don't really want to argue with you. I'm sorry. So I was saying that instead of using the formula that I gave you during the last live stream, Mr. Amit, he showed us this another way of calculating the stablecoin dominance, which in my opinion is a much better way of displaying the stablecoin dominance. Instead of doing the manual calculation, you can use the charts that are being provided by TradingView itself, and we can actually use total ES, because total ES is something which is already excluding stablecoin from total, which is including stablecoin. So as a result of it, you would get something which is pure stablecoin dominance. Ideally speaking, we should be using stable.c.d, something which is being provided by TradingView itself. But the reason why we are not using it is because there is no data beyond a certain point, beyond a certain price point. So we are forced to use some other alternative. And this is a very good alternative. Uh, you know, you can actually use this one also, the one that I gave you guys last time during this live stream. You can use this one also. But for finding the smaller time frame levels, like on the 4-hour time frame chart, I still believe that this one is going to give you a much better picture. Because if you're using, let's say, this one on the daily time frame chart, it's exactly telling you that there is a next support at 0.152% level. This is the level that Bitcoin retested back on 11th and 10th of November, when it retested the 107.5k level, right? But if you're using this chart, which was given by Mr. Amit, obviously this is a much better alternative. But in this chart, you may not be able to find the smaller time frame levels, the levels of the lower time frame chart. So what you can do is you can use both of these charts to get a higher time frame point of view and the lower time frame point of view. There is no problem with this chart whatsoever. Both of these charts are going to give you exactly the same thing. The only difference is that this one is basically going to have stablecoin dominance, taking into account every other stablecoin present in the market, the total stablecoin dominance. But the one that I gave you last time, this one is only taking into account the dominance for USDT.D and USDC.D. That's it. If you guys have any questions related to this, please make sure to let me know in the chat box. Okay, but the point that I was trying to explain in this context was that this chart, total minus total ES divided by total, this one is a much better way of looking at stablecoin dominance. Just like total ES is much better in comparison to total, in the very same manner, this chart, which was given by Mr. Amit, once again, credits to him, this is a much better way of looking at where exactly stablecoin dominance is headed towards. And once we draw the support on this chart, we can clearly see that on the higher time frame chart, this index is still sitting at support, which is a dangerous outcome, right? Which is a dangerous thing. If it's still sitting at support, we have to remain cautious. And I believe that once total ES gives you a break towards upside, once total ES is able to break above the resistance level or give a close above the resistance level, that is when this total minus total ES, or you can simply just call it stablecoin dominance, would also give you a break and close below this support precisely. And that is when you would have much better option to go long on Bitcoin. You would have more clarity as to where exactly price is headed towards. You can be sure that price is headed towards 108,000 to 112,000. This is exactly what I told you. Wait for total ES to give you a break above resistance. This is the resistance. Wait for total ES to give you at least a daily close above this resistance, and wait for stablecoin dominance to give you a daily close below this support. As soon as this happens, you can just immediately take the long position on Bitcoin and set the TP at 108,000 to 112,000. That's it. So this is the update from my side. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to let me know in the chat box. And by the way, for those of you who would like to just take a small long position on Bitcoin, which is going to be risky, still, in my opinion, you can take a long at this level, I would say, at 89,272. But there has been this instance where price had a move down to 91,000, 91.8k last time as well. It was back on 24th of April when price went up to 94,000, then made a move towards 91.5k, and then it started going back up. The reason why I'm saying this is because total is still sitting at support, right? Even if we ignore all of these other things, total is still sitting at support, and total is about to give a small retest at this daily time frame support. And most likely, once this happens, Bitcoin will make a move towards 89,000 or 90,000, 89.8k. So what I'm going to do is, soon after this live stream ends, I'm most likely going to set a limit order for Bitcoin at 89.8k, somewhere around here. At 88.7k or at 89,000, 89.1k, that's where I'm going to set a limit order for a Bitcoin long. But remember that it's going to be an extremely risky long position. If you're waiting for a much better confirmation, then I would say that wait for a confirmation like this. Are you seeing the difference here? You had a daily close above But in this situation, you do not have a daily close above. Once you have a daily close above, something like this, that's when you can take a long position, set your stop loss somewhere around 91,000 or 90,000 or 89,000, enter somewhere around 94,000, and then set the TP at 108,000 to 112,000. That's going to be the best possible long position. It's going to look something like this. You would enter into a long position as soon as there is a daily close above. You would set your stop loss slightly below the support level, and you would set your TP, let's say, at $112,000 level. This is exactly how it's going to look like. I hope it makes sense. AB is saying, Sherlock, remember me, your secret admirer who has made you giggle a couple of times with my comments. If you check my comment history on your channel in the live, I don't exactly remember. But by the way, I think Meet is sincerely trying to get appreciation from you, and you honestly can blame him. He admires one of the finest in the scene, Sherlock. No, no, I'm not really trying to blame anyone. I was just saying that I was just giving him the due appreciation that uh we completely understand, but there is actually a way of disagreeing with someone. If you disagree with someone, you don't really have to discredit the next person. Remember this thing. This is a life lesson for all of you. Just because you disagree with the person sitting opposite to you, that does not mean that you have to discredit him. You just don't have to say that I am right because you are wrong, or because you are wrong and that's why I'm right. You could just say that I do not agree with you. I am right, and this is how it works. Anyways, uh, yes, all credits to him. And this is the chart which you guys can actually use, but you can use this one also. I was just referring to something which is a mathematical fact. If you would add 0.01 to 100 million, okay, or if you would add 1 to 100 million, it's obviously going to be 100 million and 1, but mathematically speaking, it's not really going to make any difference. Especially in physics, whenever we are doing these calculations, we do this very often. We would simply just ignore a particular variable, and we would say that because it's a negligible amount or because it's a negligible thing, so we are not taking this into account. AB just trying to get that giveaway with flat. Yeah, the giveaway winners have already been chosen, so I'm going to announce this towards the end. What do you think of grid bots? No, they are not a good way to make money. Trust me with this. None of these grid bots available on these exchanges, they are not really a good way to make money. They could provide you a good way to make money, especially during a bull market, especially when the prices are going up. But during a bear market, it's not really a good strategy. Uh, can you take a look into QNT and Solana? Yes, sure. Wait, there is a giveaway. Where is it? Could have planned it better. Yeah, there is a giveaway going on. All you had to do was, and by the way, you guys had almost a week. All you had to do was simply just like this pinned tweet on my Twitter account, and retweet it, and just drop a reply. Just drop your honest reply in the chat box. You can see that. And by the way, if you guys are not following me on Twitter, please make sure to do that. And please make sure to like the live stream also. Only 32 people have liked this live stream. 50 plus people are watching the live stream. Make sure to like the live stream and make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. We are stuck at 2,700 subscribers from the last, I guess, 2 or 3 months. So make sure that you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, and make sure to like the live stream also. And by the way, you guys can check the Black Friday offers on our website. We have a 50% discount offer on all of these subscriptions. And by the way, same is the case with mentorship also. So the mentorship is available at a 50% discount, 50%, or I guess at a 40% discount. You can get all the information related to mentorship by opening a support ticket in the Discord server. Click the link in the description of this video, join the Discord server, open a support ticket, and inquire about the mentorship program. If for some reason you were not able to afford it earlier because the price, I guess, was at $1,000, you can do so right now. It's at a very low price, and the perks are amazing. The resources are amazing, in my opinion. You have access to the live lectures, you have access to the recorded lectures, all the previous recordings. You will be given access to the website. and you can simply just access the student portal, website student portal. You can access the student portal and watch all of these lectures. You will be provided with all the other resources like indicators, if there are scripts, any scripts available, if there are any audiobooks available, if there is any specific book that you want to read. I mean, someone just requested a book last night. I sent them that book immediately. Any book that you would like to read, any audiobook that you want, we would just download it for you and send it to you guys. So, and all of these resources are available for lifetime. And by the way, you guys can also in the mentorship program, or by joining the mentorship program, you can schedule one-on-ones with me, as many times as you want. And all of these resources are available free of cost, just in one-time cost, and for lifetime also, which is a great deal in my opinion. Can the books be not crypto related? I mean, if you would start asking for the rom-coms, or like, what do you call it? Um, smut, I guess smut. If you would start asking for those kind of things, then we would have to look into it. But yeah, any kind of book that you want to read, any book, for which a digital version is available, then we would just make it available for you. Yeah, don't be gay. Crypto trading, rom-coms help with crypto trading. Okay, that's a new thing for me. I don't really know about this, honestly. Okay, let's start with the chart requests. And once again, to give a brief overview, we are long on BNB. You can enter at the market price. We are taking a long position on ETH. The entry is placed at 3100. I was planning on taking the long position immediately last night, but I have not done so. So far, I've simply just have placed the limit order at 3100 for 40% allocation. We will be entering into into the spot position slowly, looking at the market situation. But 3100 is where the limit has been placed for the spot position. And then we are planning on taking the long position on Bitcoin. By the way, what the hell, it just made a move towards 91.9k, and we had an amazing buyback so far. I still believe that we can actually have a break above 93,000, because this is most likely this is bullish consolidation happening. I have been saying this for the last few days, so this is bullish consolidation happening most likely. And I believe that we will be having a move towards 98.3k, 98.5k at least. Okay, let's start with Solana. The chart for Solana is very simple. We are trading at resistance. I know almost all of you are willing to take a long position on Sol, but this is what you should be looking at. Bounce at this level, a bounce at this level. We had a break below, rejection, 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 and then another rejection. So the only way that you can take a long position on Solana is if it makes a move towards upside. If it gives you a break above this resistance, above $147, then you would take a long position, breakout trade, place your stop loss slightly below this support, and set your TP at $180. That's going to be a long trigger for you. If something is trading at resistance, then it would make absolutely no sense for you to take this long position. Quite simple. You know, if it's trading at resistance, it would be a suicide to take a long position. I mean, everybody would call you a stupid. Recommend the mentorship. Coming from someone who paid full price, take the discount, you won't be disappointed. Thank you so much. Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling people, that the normal price for the mentorship program is um, you know $1,000, and I have seen people selling mentorships at 5,000, 6,000, $10,000 price points. And trust me with this, they have no more than 30, 40 recorded lectures. Each one of these recorded lectures in our mentorship program, and by the way, there are going to be 300 plus hours of training, 300 plus hours of recorded lectures. Everything related to crypto, everything that you can imagine related to crypto is going to be there in the mentorship program. I guess almost 60 to 70 hours of training has already been done. 60 to 70 hours of recorded lectures have already been uploaded on our website, and there are going to be 300 plus recorded lectures. So it's a great deal in my opinion. And then the resources, you can schedule the one-on-one calls, you can attend the live lectures. All of these lectures are conducted live, and then the recordings are made available on the website after editing, and the transcript is also available. And then the indicators are also available, the book resources are available. we are making some changes in the mentorship program also, where we are going to launch a separate section in which there are going to be all the famous audiobooks related to trading. They will be made available to our users, to our members, absolutely free of cost. And then you would have access to all of these other PDFs as well. Every other book, every famous book related to crypto will be available for you guys to access in this mentorship program. And all of these future resources, if you have paid for the mentorship program, because it's a lifetime program, just one time price, obviously all of these resources will be available to you for lifetime. So this is what I'm talking about on the chart for Soul. You can see that only if it gives you a break above this resistance, only then it would make sense for you to take a long position. Right now it's sitting at support. If you ask me about taking a short position, then it's not a very good idea. The reason is because price got rejected at this level the first time, the second time, and this is the third rejection. So it obviously makes no sense to take the long position. What you can do is set an alert here. As soon as you have a daily close above, a small daily close above, you would take the long position. And it looks like Solana also is giving you a very nice double bottom pattern. By the way, this double bottom pattern was formed at a very, very important support level. It's a very important support level for Solana. So, and also it has got this daily trend line breakout. So, it makes it a very good long position if we see the break towards upside. The material published already is worth it. Yeah, that's true. Is it a lifetime thing? But what if you die next week? I mean, that's a totally different thing. Cannot do anything about it, man. When would be the best time to exit all of our spot positions? The best time would be once Bitcoin makes a move towards 108,000 to 112,000, because I believe that 90% chances that we are going to see a big rejection at that level, at 108,000 to 112,000. Curious, have you considered doing a career on physics as well? If so, which specialization? I think trading is full time for you right now. This is what I have been thinking about doing. Like, I have not publicly shared my future plans so far, but I have been planning on doing masters in information management, I guess information systems. But I'm just looking to do it in Australia. Probably I'm going to apply uh, for the September batch. I'm just looking for the universities, but I have to, like, publish a research paper or something before applying, because I don't really want to just do the masters. I want to do masters by research in information systems, which is going to be everything related to information technology and then everything related to business. This is what I'm planning to do. I would probably start it next year, but obviously, I have this other workload management thing also. Like, running a complete server full time, it's not an easy job. So yeah, that's why I'm planning to do it in Australia, because it's a totally different time zone. And yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. But physics, I haven't really given it a thought, because you know, if I choose to do a degree in physics, then I would have to do research in it in my professional year, which I obviously cannot do. But with business management degrees, with degrees related to information systems and all those things, I can definitely complete a professional year in Australia, because by doing that, you know, it would be a lot more easier for me to do that in information systems, because I can just do it in online. But with physics, I would have to do proper research, or I would have to take a job or something like that. I cannot afford to do it, doing a job. Is it something you love or something else? No, this is not something which I love. It's just for the immigration purposes. For sure, amazing mentor. For me personally, one of the best, if not the best out there. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And by the way, if you would join the Discord server, you can open up the support ticket and you can talk to people who are already in the mentorship program. And they would just give you a first-hand experience of what exactly it feels like to be a part of the mentorship program. What are the resources? So you can just contact any of these students directly, and have their honest opinion about the mentorship program. Okay, Uh, what's the next chart that we are looking at? Arrow and visuals. Okay, let's take a look at arrow. Someone is saying, why did I choose UK? It's because Foxian is registered in UK. Foxian is registered in United Kingdom. Okay, first of all, let's draw the historical SR levels on arrow. Okay, this is an important resistance level. And if I would draw the support levels, this is interesting. So you can see that even if I just ignore this one, arrow is trying to break above this resistance. This is an important moment for arrow also. Make sure to draw it very carefully because you would be taking a long position at the breakout. It's going to look something like this and not something like this. So you have to do it very carefully, I would say. Just start it, yeah, something like this. That's how the resistance looks like. You can see that. You have the rejection at this level. You have the first bounce, the second bounce, the third bounce, the fourth one, another bounce at this level. Then this was deviation, by the way. Okay. This was rejection, and this was deviation retest. So we have taken into account almost all of these price bounces and rejections, and this is how you draw the SR levels. People would just randomly draw the SR levels. You have to justify almost 90 to 95% of the moves that are happening around those price point, around that particular price level that you are targeting. I mean, you just cannot say that I'm not taking into account these 4 or 5 fake outs that have happened above this resistance or below this support. No, you cannot do that. You would have to choose a price point. You would have to choose a level where there have been maximum possible reactions. And in this case, on the arrow chart, you can see that this is a price level where there have been maximum possible price reactions. So, it's very simple, just like Solana. If it gives you a break towards upside, that's when you are going to take a long position on arrow. Right now it's trading at resistance, just like Bitcoin, just like Solana. Arrow is also trading at resistance, so you have to be very, very careful if you're planning to take a long position, or if you have to take, or if you are in a long position, because right now it's sitting at resistance. So if you would take a long position right now, that would be a very bad decision, because going long on something which is sitting at resistance is not a very good idea. So I'm not going to talk about dynamic levels at this point, but you can see that, I mean, there is going to be some rejection around these levels. But this is where the actual resistance starts from. So at least you would be able to catch a 15% move, which is decent in my opinion. So it's definitely going to be a rejection, then price giving you a retest, and then it would be a break towards upside. There is no trend line, there is nothing else that I can talk about. Dynamic levels are not exactly sitting close to this level. They are almost 15 to 16% away from the current market price. So yeah, you would be able to catch a 15 to 16% move, and then it would depend how exactly price gives you a reaction. But you can see that this is the doodle that I have drawn. A rejection at this point, then price going back down to give the retest, and then it would be a break towards upside. I wish YouTube allowed you to send images also in the chat box. But anyways, you can just take a screenshot of this. Let's set an alert around here and wait for the breakout. Let's talk about Zcash also, because I gave an update on Zcash, I guess, a few weeks ago, when I told everyone not to buy Zcash. It was trading somewhere around, I guess, $517. I encouraged everyone not to take a position on Zcash because of this daily massive ascending trend line, and because of this double top pattern. And I encouraged everyone to take a long position or buy Zcash in spot somewhere around $300. I was sleeping at the time this reaction happened, but this was a very, very good trade. You can see that even if you would draw the fib levels, price precisely reacted at 78.6. 78.6 was perfectly correlated with this higher time frame, daily time frame, 3-day time frame support as well. This is the doodle that I gave you guys almost 3 to 4 weeks ago when Zcash was trading somewhere around $500. So we have missed the initial entry, obviously. This was a second retest. You can see that I already have the alert set. So if it makes another move towards downside, if it gives another move towards downside, then I'm willing to take the risks to long Zcash, or buy Zcash in support, buy Zcash in spot around 300 price level. So let's see what happens. But this was my trade for Zcash. And now, if we talk about the short position, then I'm definitely taking this short. You can just place the limit order for this Zcash short. It would make sense. The reason is because, you know, first, because this resistance has not been retested, it's going to be the first retest of resistance. And the second point is that because it has this massive double top pattern, and the resistance, sorry, the neckline for this double top has not been retested. So this is going to be the first retest of the double top pattern also. The first retest of the double top pattern, which makes it a very good short position in my opinion. So a short at 429 or $430 and a long at $300. Long is a risky one because this is going to be the third retest. First one was the best one, second one was acceptable, the third one is going to be a little bit risky, but this is going to be the first retest. And I believe there are there is 1 day 12 period exponential moving average and all sorts of different dynamic levels trading in this range. And by the time price makes a move towards upside, by the time price goes back up to these levels, it's kind of obvious that most of these dynamic levels, they are going to trade somewhere around here. They're going to be in this range, which is going to make this a very good short position. By the way, guys, 50 plus people watching the live stream, please make sure to like the live stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Zcash would be nice though, boss. uh it was a nice trade, but as I said that, I just completely missed out on this trade. Even Junie sent me the chart. She also missed it. Junie is an analyst in our community. She also missed it. She sent me the chart. She was also willing to take the spot position at $300 level, but for some reason she missed it. Uh, so yeah, it was a very good trade because of 78.6% level, because you see when you draw the fib levels, then if price goes past 78.6% fib level, then the chances are very low that price would give you any kind of reaction, because this is the last support usually, or this is the last resistance, depending on how you draw the fib levels. In this case, 78.6% was the last major support. And the fact that it was perfectly aligned with this horizontal support also, which is a high time frame support, it made it a very good setup. This made it a very good setup. Uh, but yeah, we just missed it, but that's okay. Just subscribe. This guy is good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I longed Zcash, SP saying I longed Zcash at 306.7 from your alert. I set from your call. Great move. Okay, that's good. As I said, some of you guys did take the long position. Some of you guys did take that long position at 306, because I did give the alert almost 3 weeks ago. But I was sleeping at that time, so I wasn't able to take this long position. Pep is saying the mentorship is the best way I've found to finally know what I was doing wrong. Yeah, in the mentorship program, we usually talk about the logic and not just the strategies, which I take proud in, because every time you watch these YouTube videos, every time you would watch the content from some other mentorship program, from other mentors, they usually talk about strategies. They usually don't even know what's happening at the back end or in the background. So I would definitely say that in my mentorship program, the theoretical aspect of things carries almost, I would say, 60 to 70% of the weightage in the overall course. But still, the practical aspect is, let's say, only 40%. But still, understanding everything, I mean, understanding the logic is the most important part. We need the Sherlock survival guarantee. Okay. ENA. Let's take a look at the chart for ENA. By the way, guys, if you have any chart requests, then please make sure to drop in the chat box. ENA. So ENA has been trading, I guess, 2 to 3 weeks ago, someone requested the chart for ENA, and I did warn them to not take long positions on ENA because it was trading at this resistance level. Same is the case for Solana, same is the case for Arrow, same is the case, with a few other charts also. If they're trading at resistance, there is no way that you can know if price is going to give you a breakout or not. And that's why it's best to wait for the breakout and then enter into that long position. Let's talk about ENA. Okay, so this has been historically speaking a very important support for ENA. So I would say that if price starts losing this level, then ENA, I mean, this has been support for ENA since 4th of August 2024. And if I just check the Binance chart also, yeah, this is pretty much the previous all-time low also for ENA. The last one was created back on 10th of October, but this is a very important support for ENA. So I would say that if you are planning to buy ENA or if you're planning to take a long position, then this is your last resort. If price starts breaking below this level, which is a multi-year support, right? This has been support, multi-month support or multi-year support. If price starts losing this level, then ENA is very much done already. Okay. If we have even one daily close or one 3-day close below this level, then this coin is done already. So if I had to take the position, I would simply just take it at this level and then I would set the TP at this resistance. That's still an 87% move, okay? You can start accumulating at the market price. You can slowly start doing DCA. And if let's say you intend to put $100 into this position, you can maybe buy $40 worth of ENA at the market price, then set an alert for another $40 at this support, and then just keep another $20 for if price gives you a wick at the lowest part of this support and set the TP at this resistance level. That's all you have to do, because this is the range which ENA is moving in. You can see that price just continues to have rejection at this resistance and price just continues to bounce at this level. So this is a very good support in my opinion. And also this was a deviation, a massive deviation, and this is a deviation retest, and deviation retest is usually always successful. So that's why it should be making a move towards 47 cents eventually. And that's an 87% move, guys. Remember that. 87% move. What is the ideal TP for Zcash if you're going long? Okay, it's very simple. The ideal TP for Zcash is at this resistance. The first TP should be hit already, should have been hit already, because this is a resistance for Zcash, by the way. Anyone who is long on Zcash, anyone who is holding on spot, please remember that Zcash is trading at a small resistance, 4-hour resistance, and has been rejected at this level quite a few times in the past. So if you're planning to take TP, take the first TP already, just do that immediately, and then set the next TP. Move the stop loss to break even if you entered somewhere around, let's say, $300 in this range, 306, 307, and then set the next TP at 428. You should have 50% at this level and then 50% at 431, because that is where we should be taking the short position. What are the chances that ETH DCA for spot will be filled? ETH DCA for spot will be filled. I mean, I just cannot guarantee at this point, but I would say, there is almost a 40 to 30% chance that the DCA would be filled. Realistically speaking, somewhere around 30%. You know, because obviously price is sitting close to 3400, 3500 in comparison to 2800. So I would say that 3400 is much more realistic in comparison to 2800 at this point. Tau, please. Okay, let's take a look at Tau. Tau is interesting because Tau is, and by the way, I don't want to name anyone, but most of you would remember the guy, or most of you would know the guy. He encouraged everyone to buy Tau at this level. And now he has been telling everyone that Tau is a long-term hold, and he's just holding Tau. I don't want to name the guy, but he's a big analyst. He's a big influencer. But I did alert you guys on my Twitter account also not to buy 𝗏 because it was trading at resistance. There is no point buying something when it's trading at resistance. And by the way, you can actually buy at this point now because now it's sitting at support. But I'm not a big fan of trading 𝗏 because the range is never really super clear. Same is the case with this other coin which I really hate, and that's Ondo. RWA narrative. This one is AI narrative. So both of these coins, and let's take a look at the AI coin. The market capitalization of AI coins. There is no point buying 𝗏 right now. Okay, the reason is because the market capitalization for AI coins is sitting at resistance. Now, you tell me, why would you buy 𝗏 right now when the market capitalization for all of these AI coins is sitting at resistance? It makes absolutely no sense, right? You would only buy something when when their market capitalization is breaking above a resistance level. So set an alert on AI.C at this level at 33 billion, and only if it gives a break above, only if it makes a move like this, only then you buy 𝗏 or any other coin which falls under the same category. So it's less about what the chart itself is telling you, it's more about what the overall category is looking like. I mean, you can take a look at the meme.c category, and the meme coins, they could be a good buy because meme.c has this trend line, and at the same time meme.c could also be sitting at support. It depends on the category itself. And by the way, speaking of this fact, if you talk about the layer1.c category, another way of looking at the Bitcoin chart, if you take a look at the layer1.c category, it's trying to reclaim this resistance. Another sign to be really, really cautious here, another sign to be really, really careful here. This is the chart for layer1.c, the market capitalization of layer 1 coins. And remember that Bitcoin also falls in the same category. And as a result of it, you can see that it has huge market capitalization, $2.77 trillion. So out of $3 trillion, $3.1 trillion, which is in circulation in the crypto market, almost 2.77 trillion consists of coins that fall under the layer 1 category, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. So only if it breaks above this level, above 2.8 trillion, then you can start taking long positions on Bitcoin. These are important things that all of you should know about. How to accurately draw support and resistance boxes using higher time frames? That's a difficult question, Clash Royale camp. It's not super difficult, but for a beginner, it definitely is difficult. When I first started learning about technical analysis, the one thing which I hated the most was drawing the SR levels, because I was myself a perfectionist and I was looking for the zones where price almost always reacted at. But after a few months, I realized that support and resistance, it's not about finding the perfect price level. It's more about finding a price point where price has reacted most of the times. And it's not easy, but I would say that you should at least, if you are serious about learning how to draw the SR levels, if you're serious about learning how to practice technical analysis, then you should start with drawing the SR levels. You should start with drawing SR levels at least 100 coins every single day. This should be your approach. Whenever I'm training my team, I usually tell them to draw the SR levels for all of the coins that are in the watch list, at least in the Bluffin Futures watch list, and there are around 400 plus coins in that watch list. So I encourage them to draw the SR levels for at least 400 coins every single day, because support and resistance is something which you can only learn if you have the right amount of experience. Govind is saying, if I'm planning to buy silver stocks but have no idea in stocks, should I buy silver ETF stocks or silver mining stocks? You can buy silver ETFs. That would be a good approach. Would you be able to guide me in the right direction, please? I don't really have experience in this, but whenever I have to usually invest in metals, I usually go with ETFs. And honestly speaking, I don't have a proper bank account myself. I'm using Revolut to this date, which is not a perfect bank account, but personally, I'm using Revolut to buy ETFs, or if I have to invest into any of these metals. They have a wide variety of ETFs available. So if you are based in UK or if you're based in Europe, then you can use Revolut. You have to first let me know where exactly you are based in. LDO, please. Okay, let's take a look at LDO. By the way, LDO is something which we have invested in for quite some time. This is our average buying price, 1.08. Price did touch our average buying price almost a few weeks ago, back on 15th of October when this buyback happened. But so far, it has been trading at support. People have been asking me to give an update on it. The reason why I cannot give an update is because it's still trading at support. I'm in US. I'm not even like I'm not actually sure about US. But if you have access to Revolut or any other fintech app, then you can try using that app to buy the ETF. This is what I'm doing right now. What made you choose crypto and why not stocks? I don't even remember why I did not choose stocks because at that time, crypto, everyone had access to crypto. I started back in 2017-18. It was much more easier for you at that time to access crypto. Uh, and I was in Pakistan at that time, mind you. So there was no way for me to trade the stocks, or at least I did not know how to do that at that time because of my age and all those things. But it was easier for everyone to do crypto at that time because of the decentralized nature of crypto. And even at that time, Binance and other exchanges did not require you to do KYC. So the rules were relaxed at that time because crypto is more volatile. Yeah, I mean, everyone who starts trading crypto, they have the very same approach that probably it's easier to make money in crypto. But that's obviously wrong. It's not true. It's definitely not an easier thing to do. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Uh, because crypto was what you heard from the gym bros. Exactly. Those of you who know my story, they would know that the reason why I invested in crypto is because uh, I know about the crypto story. Sorry. For those of you who know about my story, they remember that, you know, the reason why I started with crypto was because of the gym bros. Very funny story, but yeah, that's true. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream, and now it's time to announce the winners of the giveaway. Let me just do it real quick. So the winner for the lifetime giveaway is this guy called um so my team just sent me his name. Just give me a second. Where is the name? Just give me a second, guys. If anyone from staff is listening to this, please just send me the names of the winners of giveaway. If I don't win that, I mean it's rigged. Stay alive, please, bro. Stop this. This is so weird. Matthew is saying. No, Matthew, it's not weird. I just DM'd my staff to send me the name of the winners of giveaway. Why is this weird? Why do you think this is weird? Okay. Hari Krish, he is the winner um for the He is the winner for the yearly subscription. I'm in the comment before me. What are you saying? Hari Krish, this is the username for the guy who is. This is the name of the guy who is eligible for the yearly subscription and for the lifetime subscription. I'm just announcing the name. It's 𝗠GSHAMAS1986. He is the guy who's the winner for the lifetime subscription. Congrats to the winner. Yeah. So I just dropped the usernames for the winners in the chat box. Please join the Discord server, open the support ticket, and show us your usernames, and you can claim your lifetime subscription and your yearly subscription. Congratulations to the winners of the giveaway, and I will be announcing a new giveaway in the next few hours. So we have decided to conduct a giveaway every single week for all of you. So these giveaways, they're going to be really easy. You will be easily able to participate in these giveaways. There are not really going to be any strict conditions. And make sure that you're following me on Twitter, because that's where I'm going to um, announce the next giveaway. And if for some reason you're not able to participate in the giveaway or anything, then you can always join in the Discord server and buy the subscription. And we have this Black Friday sale going on. Each one of these subscriptions are now available at a 50% discount. Okay. At a 50% discount, you can access all of these subscriptions. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Make sure to like the live stream. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And take care. Have a great week ahead. Thank you so much. And by the way, one more thing. If you wish to win the giveaway, I've seen that the reason why the team would select a certain person during these giveaways is if he is actively participating in the community also. This is what I would encourage all of you to do. You can just, in one way or the other, you can just try to participate in the community, participate in the chats, participate in other activities, participate in the discussions. Just ask as many questions as you can. We even offer free subscriptions to people who participate in the community. We're more than happy to do that. So if you would do that, you can definitely be a winner for these giveaways. And we are definitely going to announce the next giveaway in the next few hours. So make sure that you're following my Twitter account. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Take care. Have a great week ahead. Bye.